Alright, here we go, YouTube. I just take you on a little trip. Hiking through the woods here. It's a pretty neat country. It's got pine stuck up in the draws, and then the ridges are clear. There's a lot of elk sign around. It's old. It's what I need. At about 9,000 feet, 8,000, 9,000 feet, give or take. I didn't calibrate my altimeter, but my topo map says we're at about 8,600 feet. I fully expect this to be heavily full of snow come November. I plan on bringing snowshoes and skis and a sled. Figure if I get something, I'd much rather pull it in a sled than carry it on my back. I'm seeing some deer beds around, an old elk sign, but that's it so far. I'll turn you back on as we go. YouTube, there are moose in this area, so I'm going to have to be pretty careful, especially in this heavy timber, about what my target is. Well, this isn't heavy timber, but this heavy brush. As I can imagine, walking through here and seeing something just cruising through the brush and just seeing brown, you know, big body and brown, and think, oh, there's an elk, and pulling up and shooting it and getting down there and finding out it's a moose. It would be a bad day, so I'm gonna have to be really careful about that. But that's why you're always should be sure of your target. This is a rifle season, so it'll make it a little easier for me. Put in for some archery and didn't get it, but meat is meat. Found this old logging road here, so it'll make a good spot to sneak around here without being too noisy, staying in the timber, and then I can hunt this ridge here. There is a lot of sign on these south-facing slopes here. Old sign. I'm assuming that this is their winter area. At least that's all the research that I did said it was. As you can see, this stuff here, it's called arrowhead, is a pain to sneak through. Touch it and it totally gives you away. So hopefully by November there'll be snow on this, at least moisture to keep it quieted down. But yeah, trying to put a sneak through this stuff could be a real pain. And it's not even completely dry yet. This stuff's still pretty green. But once it gets really dry, that's what it sounds like every time you touch it. So stalking through this stuff is hard. It's funny, YouTube, how things boil down to real simple. You know, it's a pretty hot day. We're finally getting some cloud cover, so it's cooling off. And but you know, it's boiling down to what you have with you and what you can carry. And right now, fire's the last thing on my mind. I could make a fire in 5 seconds because it's so hot and dry. There's dry sagebrush everywhere. But the one thing I don't have a lot of is water. Brought 3 liters with me. I have been chewing gum to trick my body into thinking that I'm drinking water. I'm giving the water to my dog because he's working twice as hard as me. You can probably hear him panting off in the brush there. About ready to give him another drink. But if you can affect fire and you can affect water, you can find it or make it. You can usually survive just about anything for a short amount of time. 3 weeks without food, 3 days without water, 3 minutes without air. Yep. It's the old adage. It's pretty true. You know, I figure about a mile, 2 miles that way, I'm going to run into a drainage that's got a lot of water in it, and then I'll be fine. You know, I'm worried about my dog overheating, so we're taking it easy. Feels a lot better now that there's some cloud cover. You don't know how nice that. I'm just sweating like a son of a gun. But anyway, keep those things in mind. If you know where your water is and you can make yourself a fire, you'd be all right for quite a while. Anyway, I'm gonna give the dog some water here, and then we're gonna sit here in the shade and rest up. Then we're gonna try to get on out to the water. Howdy YouTube. It's a pretty wild looking tree, as you can see. I hope it doesn't fall down. This looks like it's been hit by lightning. I don't think I've ever seen, I'm sure this is a pine tree. I don't think I've ever seen a pine tree do this in Colorado. There's another one. I can't really read that one. A wicked looking tree, guys. I'd be really interested to know what kind of tree. I mean, it's got to be a pine tree. There's no, it doesn't look. I mean, you could see the pine bark on that log there, or that limb there, and on up this way. But man, this thing is just massive, and you can see the way the whole thing is twisted. So it twisted it as it grew. This thing is just amazing. Well, folks, a little bit of a conundrum here. I could drop off. I'm walking right on this ridge. There seems to be a well-trodden road up here. I guess this place is a battle zone during hunting season, which won't be any fun. But I'm looking for water. I got about a canteen and a half left. Really going through it pretty fast, but I'm being pretty liberal with it. I don't want my dog to overheat. I'm looking for signs of water, willows, drainages that look like they're exceptionally green for the time of year, and such. I know there's water in this next drainage, but I have to drop way down into it to get to it. Oh, YouTube. So you got a little inchworm inching across my hat here. We're sitting here in the shade, just taking a little break, me and the dog. He's a little hot. We're just chilling out. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I thought I'd just do a quick overview of the cutting implements I have on this particular trip. I have my case trapper, nice 2-bladed knife. So you can use one for heavy duty work and then keep one that's really, really sharp for when you need to use, you just absolutely need to have a sharp, you know, blade. And yeah, it's probably the knife I use the most. I mean, it just works. I mean, and it's big enough to do the tasks that you need to do for general cutting. It guts fish beautifully, and that's what I mainly use it for. But yeah, that's it. It's about $45 on Amazon. Lifetime warranty, made in the USA, and they're built so nice. I mean, this thing is so clean. There's a little bit of space between the bolsters back here, but I mean, I don't care. For a $40 knife, bone handles. Do yourself a favor. If you're a proud American, get yourself a case. They're just good knives. Second thing I got here is my my main cutting knife, my big knife. This is the knife that I would do, and I'm kind of testing this one out. This is a Jeff White bush knife. I built the sheath out of some 10-ounce veg tan leather, double stitched. You can see it kind of screwed up the stitching a little bit there, but I don't pretend to be a professional leather worker. I just wanted to make a sheath. But yeah, this is a nice knife too. Nice curly maple handles, brass pins. Good good, nice and thick in the hand, but not too thick. Full tang. This is a handmade knife, guys. When I got it, it was like razor blade sharp from there to there, and then this little inch back here wasn't so great. So what I ended up having to do is take the heavy. I actually started with a file. I mean, it was bad, and filed that down to where I needed it, and then then went back with the stone and reshaped the whole blade. It came with a convex grind on it, and I know convex is a lot sharper than Scandi, but Scandi is just a lot easier to deal with in the field. I can sharpen this with my diamond rod and bring it right back up to damn near hair splitting sharp without having to fiddle fart around. But yep, there's my Jeff White custom. It's a I don't know, about a $45 knife on eBay. So far so good. I like it. I've only had it about 3 weeks. And the last thing I got is my Baco Laplander saw here. And this is relatively new too. I don't even have the paint worn off the teeth yet. But there's many reviews on this online. This is probably one of the better packable saws that you can buy for relatively cheap. This was I think about $25 on Amazon. And it's sharp. It cuts really well. You can see that I've cut a few things with it. It's nothing special. I do like the fact that it locks. That's a big deal, especially if you're by yourself. I usually carry an axe. This particular time, I just didn't. Just thought I wanted to try this saw out, and this is about a quarter of the weight of my axe, and I'm going quite a long ways here this particular trip, and I really want to move light. But yeah, this is a Baco Laplander. Great little saw. They just work. I'll probably end up building myself a sheath for it too. In fact, that one almost works, huh? But there you go. That's what I carry. Talk to you later, YouTube. One more thing, YouTube. I forgot to mention. I was going to make a dangler out of this with a brass ring and then another leather strap above it, and I forgot. So I made a poor man's dangler. This is just a piece of 550 cord. All it does is hang the knife down below my my belt on my Kifaru so I can access it while I still got my pack on. But yeah, someday I'll probably make a real dangler for it, but right now it works. I mean, it kind of twists a little bit, but I'm not too worried about it coming out. But yeah, it's a good knife, and then you can also put it just right on your belt here. Good sheath. Probably make another one. I think if I had to do it all over again, I would probably, and I might still do this, is I'll probably just cut this down a little bit and be a half teardrop shape, so that I can just grab the knife a little easier. Because as you can see, once it's fully in there, you really got to kind of dig at it to get it out. But I also like that because I don't want it to come popping out when I don't want it to. But I imagine just a little teardrop shape here would make it easier to fish out of there in a hurry. But yeah, that's my my latest craze, is doing some leather work. I'm gonna keep on working on that.